What are the things that are supposed to be in the retirement, in a good retirement portfolio that can yield passive income for life? Hi, yeah, welcome back to this channel. Today we're going to be talking about what are the things that are supposed to be in your retirement portfolio for you to be able to yield income for you, passive income for you for life. What are the things that are supposed to be there? What are the things that are supposed to be there? What are the things that are not supposed to be there? So today that's what we're diving into today. My name is Tammy, and I really want to appreciate everyone that has been coming back on this channel to watch our videos, to subscribe to our videos. Thank you so much. On this channel, we talk about retirement planning, we talk about personal finance, we talk about wealth creation and management, investing, and we also talk about self-development. If this resonates with you, this is something that you like, please kindly click the subscribe button. Thank you so much. And today we are going to be talking about what are the things that are supposed to be in the retirement, in a good retirement portfolio that can yield passive income for life. First and foremost is your growth assets. What do I growth assets? Those are the assets that compound over time. Maybe you have invested in them, then 2 years of compounding, they are yielding more. It's growth on growth and all that. That is the growth. Those are your growth assets. And what are the things under the growth assets? We mean your growth stocks. What are the things under growth stocks? Your growth stocks could it involves the index funds. It involves all the index funds. On the index funds, we can have the S&P 500. When maybe it's your VOO, maybe it's your VUAG, maybe it's your VUTSA, can be the VT high. So many of them that we have, the FSTE. There are so many of the growth stocks that we have. We have the QQQ. Those are the growth stocks, and we have a lot of them. I'm not giving you what you should invest in. I'm only giving you examples of what growth stocks are. Those growth stocks that all the when those stocks, when those organizations, when they generate investment, when they generate returns, when they generate profit, they invest it back. They expanding their businesses, building more networks, expanding their horizons and all that. So what are the other growth stocks that we have? Part of the growth stocks, growth assets that you can have also involve probably your businesses. Initially at the startup of your businesses, it might be hard, it might involve years of sacrifices and all that. With through consistency, through perseverance, you're able to grow it, and you're growing, you're enlarging, you are scaling it and all that. So that's also part of the growth assets that we have. You can also have startups. If you see a viable startups in which you can invest in, although those are very high risk, because the startups, it could collapse and it could do very well, you can never tell. If you have high risk, can do that. If you don't have high risk, because your retirement plan, it's your retirement portfolio should really reduce your risk. So the next asset in which a good retirement portfolio should have is income producing assets. Income producing assets, because cash flow is very important in retirement. Because this, by the time you are in your retirement, if you were working with the government before, if you were having a 9 to 5 job before, it's now your retirement, you are no longer working and all that. So cash flow is very important. Very important you have consistent cash flow. It's very important you are not stranded in anything cash flow, because this time you're taking care of your health, you're taking care of yourself. You must have food on your table, you must have energy. You must be able to pay for your energy bills, you must be able to pay for your rent or your mortgage or whatsoever it is. It's very, very important that you have income and cash flow producing assets. And what do I mean by this income and cash flow producing asset? You can have your dividend stocks. Among the dividend stocks, the dividend yielding stocks, you can have the REITs. You can have the ones that maybe produced by Vanguard. You have the VT high, you have the VYM high. Those are the total stocks in which high yielding dividend ETFs. If you want to invest in ETFs. It's very important that you invest in ETFs. Don't invest in individual stocks, except you have done your due diligence. I see that your hard money is very safe. So it's very important also that you have this income producing assets, either your rental income, it could be real estate, maybe the ones you have invested over time, the buildings you have bought over time, or the buildings you have built over time, they're now coming back to give you cash flow and constant cash flow in retirement. So you should have this also in your retirement portfolio. It's very, very important. You can do REITs, you can do real estate investment trust. You can invest in real estate investment trust, in which you don't even have to build you're just investing in compartment buildings, in an organization that has invested in so many real estate. You are just putting your money there, they're just giving you return back. You don't need to worry about maybe one pump has broken or the toilet is blocked or something like that. And I can also have real estate, bank lands, buy real estate and all that, and you can give it to people that will be able to manage it for you, and they'll just be giving you returns back. It's very important you have this income generating asset. Your portfolio is the number one that you should have. And then the last one that you're supposed to have in your retirement portfolio is the stability and protective assets. What we mean by stability and protective assets? We are talking about your bonds. maybe the federal government bonds and the treasury bills. Now, the treasury bills and the federal government bond, these are both federal government debt security issued to people to invest, and all that. And they are very, very consistent with their paying. They are very, very consistent, and they have relatively high yield, or relatively high yield. But the lower the risk, the lower the return and all that. You can't compare the yield to probably a business. You can't compare the yield to probably a startup or something. But these are very protective, and these are very stable for you to have in your retirement. You don't want to have a shock in your retirement that maybe an organization which you have invested in has collapsed and all that. That's not something you want to deal with in your retirement. Retirement is it's a very peaceful. It should be a very peaceful terrain for you to be able to rest and have fun and all that. So just invest your money. Don't go. It's not the time for you to be investing in crypto. As much as fine, crypto is good and all that, it's not your retirement portfolio should not be 50% in crypto. Even if you want to have crypto, you want to take risk, it should be like maybe 5% or something very, very small and all that. So it's very important you have stability, and you have your investment also protected in your retirement. And that's why I'm talking about the bonds, the treasury bills, the mutual funds, the money market mutual funds, especially the ones that are low. You can also invest in precious metals, but first and foremost, what you should invest in is the income generating asset. Very important in retirement. I hope you have been able to learn one or two things. So if you know one or other two things that you can add for your retirement portfolio, you can put it in the comment section and all that. Thank you very much for sticking around. See you in the next video.